In this video, we're going to go over grade passback mechanisms from WeBWorK to D2L. I'm here in the WeBWorK course, and I'm going to visit the course configuration page, LTI tab, and the item I'm interested in is grade passback mode. By default, we have it set to homework. There are some other options in there, but first we're going to look at the homework grade passback option. This option is so that WeBWorK will send a grade back for each individual assignment in WeBWorK. And it doesn't have to be homework, so that name is a little bit misleading. I recommend that you watch the video in its entirety to understand homework grade passback mode, course grade passback mode, before you actually follow through with any of these steps, because it is tedious to make changes once you've made progress. So with homework grade passback mode selected there, I'm going to go over to the D2L course. And in this D2L course, I have not yet created any of the external learning tool links to WeBWorK. In another video, I demonstrate how to set all those up using the WeBWorK assignments import tool, and I'm going to select links to all assignments. That's going to create a bunch of grade items in my D2L gradebook. With all these LTI assignments imported, I can go to the gradebook now. I have some non-WeBWorK related assignments in this gradebook, but let's skip this page and go to manage grades. Then here at the bottom are all of the WeBWorK assignments that were imported. They're external learning tool related assignments, so they'll be marked in this way. And they were just tacked on to the end of my grades list. I don't really want them here. Personally, I have organized the graded items of the class into sections. So as a next step, I'm going to create a WeBWorK section, also known as a category. For me, the grades are weighted by category, and I have WeBWorK at 25%. The total weight for my WeBWorK category is 25. I would like to distribute the weight of individual assignments according to how long those individual assignments are. So I'm distributing the weights by points across all items in the category. You have an option instead if you'd like to distribute the weights so that each WeBWorK assignment is worth the same towards a student's grade, no matter how long or short the assignment is. You can make that choice too. Okay, now I'd like to move all of those assignments into this new WeBWorK category. You can click here to bulk edit and then start putting them into their appropriate category. The student orientation is one WeBWorK assignment I'm going to put somewhere else, but all of the rest of them I'm going to put into this new WeBWorK category. All right, that's all done, and I'll click save. All right, and then I'd like to do one more thing. The WeBWorK category is at the end of the list, and I'd like to make it a little earlier. So under more actions, I'm going to reorder module 0. Then I have my video lecture notes section. I'd like WeBWorK to come next. So the video lecture notes is the second category. I'm going to scroll down to find WeBWorK and make it the third category. And then automatically other numbers were changed. I'll save. And if you want, you can do one more thing. You'll notice if I go to the actual grades page instead of this grades management page, these WeBWorK assignments show up with their full titles. If you'd like to shorten titles for this gradebook, you can do that. We'll go back to the grades management page, scroll down to the WeBWorK assignments, and you can edit some details, give a short name to a particular assignment, save and close, and then those short names will appear in your actual gradebook. Here I've given short names to just the first 3 assignments so far, so you can see that taking place. So now the D2L course is all set up to handle grade passback, but there is more to do for the WeBWorK course to be initialized to actually send those grades back. Go to an assignment link in the D2L course and actually use it. This is an annoying technicality, but at least one person, it could be you, could be a student, at least one person, one time needs to use a link for a particular assignment before the grades can begin to be passed back. So I'm going to go back to content. In this course, I haven't placed these links anywhere yet except for this catch-all place. Okay, I'm going to use this link once for the student orientation assignment. And just by virtue of me having used that link, that's enough for grade passback to start. So let's look at my grades right now in D2L. For the student orientation assignment right now, I have 0 out of 8. In WeBWorK, I actually have 2 out of 8 because I've already submitted some answers. So why do I have 2 out of 8 here and 0 out of 8? The grades are only passed back once an hour, and it's not just once an hour has to pass, then somebody somewhere has to click something in the WeBWorK course, and that will trigger the grades being passed back. If you don't want to wait for that to happen, then you can use the LTI grade update tool. You can pick a user, or you could pick all users. You could pick all of the sets, or you could pick an individual set, and then click to update grades. This starts the process of sending the grades to D2L, and there may be a queue. If you want to monitor the progress of that job, you can go look at the job manager. And this last one on the list was an LTI mass update. It's already finished. So at this time, if I go back to the D2L course and I refresh the grades page, then you can see my score 2 out of 8. Now, if I'm in WeBWorK and I go to the next assignment in line and I were to answer a question correctly, at this time, grades for that other assignment will not be passed back. And again, the reason why is that for each individual assignment, somebody has to visit WeBWorK using one of the links to that particular assignment. If you'd like to just get this all out of the way so that your students never encounter this barrier, you can use each of these links. Just click this one time, click this next one time, click this next one time to initialize all of those connections. Now we're going to start all over to see what course grade passback mode is like. I'm going to go to the WeBWorK course, to the course configuration, LTI tab, and change from homework passback mode to course passback mode. Save changes. And now let's go back to the D2L course. I still have this content module. It's a catch-all for WeBWorK assignments. Use the WeBWorK assignments tool. And this one at the top is the one that matters for grade passback. You can add all the others if you like. We'll submit choices. Because I was in course grade passback mode, when I go to the grades, I can switch to manage grades. What that created here at the bottom of the list is a single grade item called WeBWorK Assignments. You can see that it's attached to an external learning tool. I could either leave this here or make a category for it, like how I have exams in a category, but since it's its own single item, I might just leave it alone. One thing I might want to do though is change the weight if I'm using a weighted grading scheme. So you can edit that detail and change the weight to what you'd like it to be. Now, just like with homework grade passback mode, grades will not start to be passed back until at least one person one time uses the link. So this link, use it at least once. Now what's going to happen next is that every hour or shortly thereafter, grades will be passed back from WeBWorK to D2L. If you'd like to accelerate that process, you can go to the LTI grade update tool. You can select all users or a particular user and then update the grades. Back in D2L, if I look at my grades, my score on WeBWorK is currently 25 out of 100. For me, in WeBWorK right now, I have done none of my assignments. I have 2 out of 8 on the only assignment that's open right now. So 2 out of 8 makes 25%, and that makes it pretty clear where the 25 out of 100 comes over here. But why is it 25 out of 100? What about all these other assignments that I have? So when the grades are calculated and passed back, the denominator is going to be the sum of all of these point totals for the sets that have already opened. So for me at the moment, I have not opened the 10.1 exercise set, and that's not being counted into my grade. I'm going to change that quickly and change the open date to, and then repeat the LTI grade up. And when I refresh grades now, my score is only 10 out of 100. My grades are 2 correct exercises out of 8, plus the only other assignment that's open is 12 exercises in it, so 20 exercises total have been available to me. And I got 2 of them right. So 2 out of 20 makes this 10 out of 100. This could be frightening to some students. When a new set opens in WeBWorK, then instantly it's like they have a 0 on that assignment. Or if you're an instructor who likes to open all of the exercise sets from the very beginning of the course, then the denominator used to calculate this grade is going to be very large, and students are going to have a 0 off the bat. They might get 100% on their first assignment, and they're still going to have a very low score overall because the denominator is including all of those sets that are already open but aren't really due until far into the future. So be aware of that, and if you would like to keep this graded item here but not cause any of your students to panic if they see low scores, what you can do is hide this item. Go to Manage Grades, find that item, and then change its status so that it's hidden from users right here. Now when you go to grades, you as the instructor will still see that item in the list. You can even incorporate it into calculating some overall average for the student, but the students will not see it. So that completes this demonstration of grade passback between WeBWorK and D2L.